Time to look at a team that you looked at every year and say, how on earth will they qualify 13, 14, 15, 16, 17? And then they turn around. Qualified in 19, qualified in 20, qualified in 21. They haven't yet won and then just slipped a little bit in 2022. We're talking about the Delhi Capitals. I remember talking after they'd finished the auction of 21 and saying, wow, what a good squad they've built up. They did really well in 21 and then in 22 just slipped at the very last hurdle. Now what lies ahead? One big hole. A very unfortunate incident, and every time you think of that, you say, wow, we're lucky to have Rishabh Pant, and you hope he comes back and becomes the player that we all know he is. But no Rishabh Pant creates a huge issue with Delhi Capitals on more than one front. Rishabh Pant, the captain, just coming into his own, becoming a good captain. Rishabh Pant, the top order left-handed batter. You don't see too many of those. There's Pant, there's Ishan Kishan, and then you're searching everywhere else. And the keeper who's just becoming better and better. Now, if you look down that squad, let's look at the holes one by one. Rishabh Pant to play 14 games. Who was their backup keeper? Who? They then looked at Phil Salt. There is no other backup keeper. We'll come back to that in just a moment. Now they've got to fill somebody at number 4. So the absence of Rishabh Pant is creating a lot of collateral issues with the Delhi Capitals. So now let's start looking at those one by one. Who becomes captain? They've got an outstanding choice in David Warner. I know it's been a while since Warner was carrying Sunrisers through their glory years, qualifying every year, going ahead, winning in 16, almost winning in 18. But Warner in the IPL as captain is a completely different beast. He just seems to forget everything that's happening in his life and turns up and becomes one of the all-time great IPL players. So Warner carrying indifferent form, but Warner the IPL player. So that's one issue sorted. They've got a good captain. Now who bats at number 4? They've got Yash Dhul, they've got Manish Pandey. One of those two has to play, becomes a right-handed option in between. But luckily for them, they're surrounded by some outstanding power hitters. So let's look at that Delhi side then, how the top 6 stack up. You've got Warner and you've got Prithvi Shaw. You looked at Prithvi Shaw this year in domestic cricket and he was having such a lot of fun. He was striking at 180, 190 consistently in the Syed Mushtaq Ali, striking way above everybody else in the Vijay Hazare. He's had a fabulous white ball season. Red ball had that one great innings, but don't worry about that. Let's talk white ball. Warner, Shaw last year were the opening pair of the tournament. They'll want to do that this year too. Then Mitch Marsh. All you say when you look at Mitch Marsh is, please Mitch, stay fit. Take care of your hamstring, take care of your calf, take care of your groin, take care of your back, but stay upright and give me 14 games. Because when Mitch Marsh does that, in the form he is in, he's one of the most destructive players in the world. If he gives them 2 overs, wow, the whole balance changes completely, but we don't know if he can. So Mitch Marsh at 3, then you've got options down the order, and that depends on who keeps wickets. If Phil Salt keeps wickets, you've got no room for Riley Russo, who's a staggering player, yet to give off his best in the IPL. You've got no room for Rovman Powell, who was so good for Delhi last year. And so, don't be surprised if you see Sarfaraz keeping wickets. Sarfaraz does a little bit of everything. He's an interesting player. First caught our eye when he did all those crazy things for RCB coming towards the end. He's gone on to have an absolutely stellar red ball career in domestic cricket. Now he's got to rediscover that Sarfaraz in white ball cricket. But the moment Sarfaraz keeps, you can play one of Russo or Rovman Powell. You play Rovman Powell, you've got an over or 2 there too. Then you add Akshar Patel. And you're looking at a really powerful top 7. But look at what happens after that. Irrespective of who you play, the batting ends at 7. They've got very good overseas fast bowlers. They've got Lungi Ngidi, they've got the Fizz, and they've got Henrik Nokia. They will be sweating on Nokia's fitness, because if Nokia's fit, he's a game changer. But neither of those are available for the first game. For the first game, they might have to go with Mukesh Kumar. They've paid a lot of money for him, had a breakout season. You've got Sakaria and you've got Khalil Ahmed. Hopefully Khalil Ahmed is fit too, because he spends as much time unfit as fit. When he's fit and running, he's a quality player. If they play all those 3, then you can play both Russo and Powell in that first game. Then the other big plus for them, what fun it is when Kuldeep Yadav is bowling well. When he's got that smile, when he's got that drift, then he's a wow player. And I think with Ponting, with Warner, both come from a land of attacking wrist spin bowlers. They will make Kuldeep Yadav feel like he's on top of the world. But he bats 8, 3 fast bowlers after that. The top 7 have to deliver. What do they do when they go on the road, when there's slowish tracks? Maybe go back to Lalit Yadav, who so far, let's be honest, has been a bit of a disappointment for them. Hasn't had a great Mushtaq Ali either. But then they play Lalit Yadav in place of that number 4. Akshar Patel goes up to number 6. Lalit Yadav comes at 7. They've got that little bit of room, but whatever they do, their batting ends at 7. So most days, Delhi Capitals are saying 6 batters, 5 bowlers. We do our job, you do your job. The one big imponderable always. Remember, this is a home and away season once again. 7 games at the Kotla. What is the Kotla going to give you? For a start, it's going to give you very tiny boundaries. If you're a spinner, you've got to do everything yourself because the big hits are going to clear the boundary. But is it going to be a really good 50-50, 170, 180 kind of track at the Kotla? Can it stay that way for 7 games? That is exactly what the Delhi Capitals would like, given the kind of batting they have. Can they go the distance, Delhi Capitals? I think a lot would depend on how the Khalils and the Sakariyas and the Mukeshes go, on whether Nokia is fit or no, because I think the batting will look after itself. So, very, very dangerous side. On a good track, don't put it past them to get 200. But that balance might just be an issue. We'll wait and see. Join us on Cricbuzz Live for all the fun and insights this year. If you're in the Middle East or North Africa, if you're in continental Europe or Latin America, do subscribe to Cricbuzz Plus to see the Tata IPL 2023 live.